in spite of the way we were fighting back, we had some opportunities to get in the red zone and put some points on the board, and ended up having to attempt some field goals. And I think not executing in the red zone was, bottom line, in spite of the mistakes, was probably the biggest downfall we had. So we had, but I think that thankfully no one was seriously banged up, and it was overall certainly a very good spring.
We'll open up the questions, either Coach Bollman or Coach Burton.
I had a question for the coach. It looked like Damien might have taken a blindside hit and came back in a no contact jersey. Was that just precautionary for Terry?
Yes. Yeah, I think it was. There's in certain situations where it was good for him to get the experience of getting some snaps in there, but we just decided we didn't want to run him anymore after that.
What was your thought on how Damien's playing?
He certainly is a threat running the ball, as you can see. He scored that very first touchdown, and is a movement kind of guy. And for his age, needs to continue working on his passing game, which he's doing and steadily improving.
Coach Bollman, you've been around a lot of very good football teams, won national titles. After coming out of this spring, how good is this team?
Well, I think that we all know and have talked plenty about last season, and we all know the challenges of trying to continue those kind of standards. And I think that these guys understand that. I think they're working very hard at that. I think it's hard to put an exact figure on that. I know that we feel really good about our guys, and I think they'll have a great summer, and we'll come back ready to get rolling. But football is a strange game. There's a lot of great things that happened to us last year, and we've made people aware of that. The guys on the team know that, and you have to continue the fight to stay at that level or even improve, depending on the position. But we're working at it.
Question for Coach Burton. Your defensive linemen were all over, whether it was pressure, sacks, or penalties. Just what's your initial impression of guys like Cooper and LP and Shalik and Rush, what they were able to do today?
Well, I think they came out playing fast and hard. We were a little edgy. We had some offside penalties. Our guys tried to harness that in, and they kind of hard counted us. They knew we were going to be in a position where we wanted to pass rush a lot. I think they had some competitiveness going on both sides of it, who had what. But I think we did some good things. I think they showed some edge to them as far as the moves they made. And I think in the future we got to continue to harness that and understand this moving on the ball, number one, can cost you in the game. But you want to turn them loose as much as you can. And there's some pluses in there, that's for sure, and some things we can learn from also. But I think they had 5-6 sacks overall as a group, and that can be a plus. So we can carry over to next fall.
What's Cooper going to bring fall?
Well, his strength right now, as you can tell, is his quickness off the ball, his pass rush, his third down ability. I think that's where he'll have a chance to get on the field. So I'm still dangling it right now, so he's got some more work to do, that's for sure.
Where has he made his most improvement throughout the course of the spring?
Well, his ability to play against the run, the use of his hands in run blocking schemes. We know he can have the ability to rush the passer, but what we want to see him is to get off of blocks in run situations, and he showed that, but he's got to get consistent with it.
Jim, can you talk about your tight ends, Josiah, and also the catch by Bollman, what you saw from those two guys?
It looked like Josiah had a great day. Caught some nice balls. But he's a proven player in our minds. He got a lot of snaps last year and did a lot of good things, and he's had a good spring. As had Jamal. And Jamal was certainly doesn't have quite the experience, but he's gaining and improving a lot as a blocker. And that's still an important part for us as a tight end. Those guys are going to be pretty good receivers, and that's an improvement for us overall on the offense. And I feel good. You don't ever notice them how they're going to block, but I'm telling you, they're blocking better.
Coach,
So.
did you know going in that running the ball might be a problem? We saw Lang through 11 carries, 21 yards.
Not surprising in games like this, when the lines can be a little mix and match, and you have some guys working together that really haven't worked together at all, and But it's part of the competitiveness, part of the fun of this, and you know, when you split things up, and it's fine, and as I mentioned the other day, it gives some situations where you're talking to those guys on the bench, and who's helping who is, who's helping become a leader. There's some roles that guys might not normally get put into that they are, and it's a good situation, and it's always good for those younger guys to get in there and get their feet wet in some live situations.
I guess to follow up, you talked about the double pass. When was that fit in?
That particular play was put in, let's see, I'll be real honest with you, give you a straighter answer than normal. All right, that play was put in, when we had our last practice, Thursday? It was put in a meeting on Thursday and ran once on Thursday. So I thought they did a pretty good job with one practice play.
Do you guys do that often, where you just drop something on them?
No. Spring game.
You guys got time for a couple more. Any other questions for coaches?
Ron, can you talk a little bit about the defense up the middle, specifically the tackles and middle linebacker? You had some things you wanted to look at there. What would you say?
Well, starting off with the defensive tackles inside, Joel Heath flashed today, did some good things, getting off the ball, moving him inside. We wanted to know if he could handle the double teams and things like that. He was very active. Other defensive tackle on my side, Brandon Clemens, did some good things. I think he was very strong at the point of attack, and we got to continue to help himself in pass rush. On the other side, Knox, and he got in the game, played a lot, hadn't played as much as we wanted him this spring. But the middle linebacker position, I think we had some things we wanted to see out of TJ and Reschke. Those guys showed the ability to make some plays, but I think they're still work in progress. Those two guys that are battling for that job right now, and a third guy. But I think overall it was good, but there's always room for improvement, and I think that's where we are right now. We're just average. I think we can get a lot better experience-wise, and that's the true teacher. So we got to keep them on the field.
Guys, Jack Allen said to me earlier this week that he felt one of the biggest changes for the good on this team was you two. And obviously it was a play for you. We talked about both of you. So Coach Burton, can you tell us the strengths of Coach Bollman? Coach Bollman, you tell us about Coach Burton.
Oh, that's a great way to put it. Experience is the true teacher. Even as a young coach, hearing about Jim Bollman from UVA to Ohio State to the NFL, I think being around a lot of great players that he's recruited, including Prexico Barris here, his ability to recruit. But the key thing is, I think, his X's and O's are strong. He reminds me of an old ball coach named Tom Landry, the ability to understand everything that's going on in the play and then being able to execute. So it's a great experience for me to be around a young man like this, that's for sure.
If you're around Ron very much, it's like being with Mr. Enthusiasm, okay? Every day, I know he's gonna get me flying sky high, He comes in every morning and works out and gets the thing going. He has great enthusiasm, which rubs off on his players, believe me. And he's pretty experienced, more than he's alluding to. He's been around the block too, and knows how to coach this game, does a great job with his guys technique-wise to get them to play hard. Works very hard on it, and is certainly a great guy to be with, especially in all the wars we see.